Robert the Monster Among Marks Drap here, and I'm back again with my good friend and tag team partner, Sierra. How are we doing today?
We're doing good. I got to see my wrestle boys. I don't know why I'm singing, but we're gonna do that.
It works. I'm not gonna stop it. We will not stop doing silly things here because to hell with it. Why not? Oh God. Speaking of people who are kind of doing silly things that are amazing, let's start with you're done with me. Wow. Gonna branch out
Sorry.
away from me. Just leave me in the dust. I see how it is.
Oh, well, I was looking for my normal people scare me one, but I don't know where that is at the moment. And the last time I put a Slytherin thing on the screen, you got really, really crazy.
I mean, that wasn't entirely my fault. So I think that I deserve a little bit of a reprieve for that one. But God, you want to talk about things that made me crazy? We'll get into that here in a minute with the second match in this in NXT.
Oh,
But
you're
with the
starting on
first,
NXT. I
yeah,
keep wanting to start on 205 Live because chronologically it's the first one.
I know, but I don't watch them in that order because I like. I let's be honest, NXT is far more popular.
I
Um,
know, but I always am like note taking for my poor little cruiserweights.
I mean, if you really, really, really want me to,
No, 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 no.
we can be on
You've
205
already
live.
announced. You've already announced NXT. We can try that again next week, though.
All right. Well, the first thing that
Any
happens
show
on
that starts with Cassius Ono
oh
is amazing.
oh yeah, fucking Cassius Ono comes out to start, and his match
Oh,
is against Kona Reeves. My instant first thought was, "Oh dear, merciful Jesus, do not let them sacrifice Cassius Ono on the altar of getting this fuck boy over." But
I
they
will
didn't.
say, Kona Reeves, he is starting to embrace the finest at everything. He does look like he's starting to really shape into the character. It's not all about it now. Um,
But
but
this
it's
match was
maybe he.
I wrote it down. I was like, this match was as brutal and one sided as you'd think it'd be.
Although Reeves selling is just wow.
Oh yeah, no, there it was really good. Uh,
You
Cassius Ono
see, I
wins
have
with
him
that
as his last
discus.
name, and I keep thinking Keanu Reeves. I was just like, yes, Cassius Ono just beat the shit out of Keanu Reeves.
The immortal Keanu Reeves. Oh, speaking of,
Oh, did you
speaking,
hear about
yeah,
freaking
yeah, I was about to
oh
do it.
Burt
Hang on,
Reynolds?
God, God rest him.
He was the epitome of manliness at one point in time.
At one point, motherfucker always was.
He,
I'm
he's
sorry, just the best, and he will be absolutely sorely missed. Um, I didn't want to believe it when I first saw it on my Twitter feed, but no, it has
I
been confirmed that he passed away today. So
I heard it at work. I didn't even get to see anything official. I just heard he was 82 and it was out of nowhere.
yeah,
What was not out of nowhere, though, in my opinion, is Cassius Ono picking up the win.
yeah, and then
It's about freaking time.
his promo was really really good. I
And it
really
is
liked it.
technically true. He's always the first person that new talent wrestle when they come up.
And
So it'll just kind of be cool to see that he's going to win these matches now.
yeah, it's like that'd be great. We get a reminder that we will see Johnny Gargano versus Velveteen Dream for the main event, and that the Forgotten Sons will debut after the commercial. Okay, I
I
confess, I
finally
knew
know who these
fucking
guys are.
yeah, I knew fucking nothing
Uh,
about them before last week when they were in Regal's office. I'm like, who the fuck are
no.
these guys? So I knew nothing.
So I saw them at the live show in April, or
Mm-hmm.
at least their manager. Everyone knows who Wesley Blake is. Blake and Buddy Murphy were this great tag team 2 years ago. I
Yeah,
did
because
not.
I was gonna say the middle guy that didn't wrestle, he looked like supremely familiar.
Yeah, I saw him at a live show, and then I saw these two tagging at the live show as well. So they have been making this has probably been a work in progress since Buddy Murphy and Wesley Blake kind of
Yeah,
split up.
they Morrow did mention that they've been working the live shows for 2 years now. So the
Which I
fucking
just confirmed.
yeah, the Forgotten Sons take on the Street Profits, who come out in all white, which was kind of a jarring thing for me because it's like, wait, no,
It's
wait,
after Labor Day.
it's after Labor Day. What the fuck are you doing? But
This was filmed before Labor Day, though.
yeah. Speaking of things that I was also like really on as far as ring gear goes, because I mean it kind of stuck out. I'm not sure if the all of the Forgotten Sons are kind of leaning into being from the Lone Star State, or if it's just
No,
Blake,
no, no, no,
but
no.
it works.
Blake is the one with the Texas
The Texas
symbol on
flag,
his,
and Cutler is a
and then
jarhead. Uh,
Jackson Riker has the Marine Corps
yeah,
logo on his, and then their names are in the red, white, and blue spangle
yeah,
for like our country's flag.
I saw
Um,
that. That was
I
kind
know
of
that
cool.
the other guy is from Texas too, though. That they did mention that. Montez Ford's war cry.
Oh,
If we're gonna war cry, we need to go a little deeper. We need to go War Raiders war cry.
yeah,
Um,
you need to bring it
this
from
is
the
my
you need to
pterodactyl scream
yeah you need
when
to
I get excited.
you need to bring it. You don't need to come from the lungs. You need to bring it from the gut. That's where it needs to come from. You know,
You
really
usually
show
end up
them your
burping
war.
at some point in there.
Yeah, you just really need to show them your war face, and that's not something you just did. The fucking
It was funny. It was
the
funny though.
I was expecting the Forgotten Sons to squash, but it turned into a really good match. The Mighty come in at the end and steal the bling, which allows for the distraction by Riker, I believe it is, and the eventual win by the Forgotten Sons. That fucking mid section boot stomp that they did was that looks dangerous, and you might not want to keep doing it.
Um, Agree to disagree. You got to make things look bad. Oh, shut up. Not you.
I was gonna say
um,
I'm sitting here ripping on my new vape, and you're gonna be like, "Shut up." Oh,
Moving on was
fucking
the beginning of the.
the heavy machinery in Regal's office.
Oh my God, Otis
I
Dozovich!
fucking
Don't you
love
ever
this.
say a word again. Freaking Tucker Knights.
You are a sweet.
You are Otis Dozovich all the way through. I am definitely Tucker Knight.
I'm like, you are such a sweet cinnamon roll. I understand your pain. You didn't want to hide it, but you felt bad
Uh,
about it. So, dude, just shut the fuck up.
he's not a cinnamon roll. He's one of the Cinnabon pops.
It's okay. He's fine. I like that
Oh my
character
gosh. I
cuz
don't ever need to hear about the performance center bathroom again.
oh no, yeah, no. I mean, like I said, this was very much they didn't they had to put they had to at least show him on screen being interviewed by Regal, because they got the footage apparently, and then they were there. So, yeah. Speaking of things we get to see, we get a replay of last week's main event with Ricochet and Pete Dunne versus Undisputed Era, before we get to see Ricochet and Pete Dunne arguing backstage. They basically want to have a scrap over each other's belts, and it is made official in 2 weeks. We will see a champion versus champion with both belts on the line. Here's the thing. This needs to be a double DQ. Instantly. You can't have Pete Dunne break the streak yet, because I want to see him break fucking Brock Lesnar's streak.
No, I think if they're making a big deal about the streak, so he's either, yes, going to break Lesnar's streak, or they're going to have him drop it. I know
And
he's expecting a child in November, so I wouldn't be surprised if he dropped the belt in November.
yeah,
But
it'll be
I think that would put him at the mark.
yeah, it'll probably. I mean, we got what? Let's say 90 days, because we go from all of this month and all of next month, which would be
I can
September,
Google this
October.
real quick. I can Google this.
Yeah, September and October. So that's 91. That's 61 days. He's at 400 and let's say 60. So that's 520
He was
days.
at like 460. He was at 460 the last time I mentioned this, which was probably 2 weeks ago. So he's probably closer to 480 now.
It does well either way. So let's say he gets the other. We go into the top of November with him as champion. So it'll run pretty much probably all the way until Takeover Survivor Series, and then we'll see. Then we'll probably see it switch hands. But
I should really know how long he held this title before.
I mean,
They made such a big deal about it, and I've already
yeah,
forgotten the numbers.
it ain't super important. But we're gonna see champion versus the other half of the reason why I say it needs to be
504.
He's already at 504.
No, Lesnar's is at 504.
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
Dunn's
so
is definitely in the high 460s.
yeah. So I mean,
In the high fours.
let's get him away from that. So anyway, next we get Kyrie Sane coming out for a match apparently with a treasure chest already out there containing the NXT Women's Championship along with some treasure which she passes out to the NXT universe. What do you got?
Dunn's at 474.
Okay, so yeah, he could make
So
it.
504.
Anyway,
I'm doing math. Go ahead.
so Kyrie Sane faces Trish Adora, who
She's from DC.
She's from DC, and she very much has like a war paint thing going on, and apparently she's a veteran, so that's another amazing thing. We get more veterans in the wrestling biz. Great.
36 days.
Yeah. So we get but this is absolutely an enhancement match for Shane to show more strengthening. Shayna Baszler just shows the fuck up. Decides she's going to cut a promo on Sane before attacking her. Sane completely turns the tide on Baszler and chases her off, which was really cool because as she's getting hit in the face, she starts standing up, and it's like, uh-oh, I done goofed.
I mean, this whole segment was just to remind everyone Baszler has a rematch clause.
Yep.
And will we see that at Evolution?
Probably.
I would imagine, since Rousey's going to be fighting too. That'd be an interesting way to do Evolution. But we should probably move on to Ciampa.
Yeah, Ciampa does another. Ciampa does another video promo. Says he's not on TV because he doesn't have a number one contender. Doesn't care about the WWE universe. Those who follow him follow the leader. It's like, all right, fine.
Okay, no.
I cut a lot
this
of that out
was
because I was going at 2 times
amazing.
speed. But yeah.
This was amazing. I mean, yeah, he asked why we haven't seen him since Takeover, the number one contendership. He's sick and tired of hearing our opinions. Shit, he's not the voice of the voiceless. That's not what he's supposed to be. And then yeah, follow Ciampa, follow the leader, all that great stuff. Lars Sullivan is terrifying. I don't ever want to meet Sullivan.
I imagine that like if you get him in like this is how I parse it in my head. If you get any of these guys on their own, like out of the ring and out of character, or at least out of the ring and in the real world, if you walked up to walked past Lars Sullivan and recognized him and been like, "Oh man, you're Lars Sullivan. I think you're fucking great, man," he would probably shake your hand and be okay with it. But I don't think I would stop him from doing whatever he's doing. And then I think this is another reason why a lot of celebrities like to move to Houston, because we got other shit to do. So we'll oh man, it's you, dude. Fucking awesome. Thanks for stopping in. And all right, later, man. And fucking leave.
That's why
we got
that's
shit
why a
to
lot
do.
of that's why a lot of people like Chicago, because
like,
they are very laid back.
It's like, dude, we understand you're famous and we like you, but we're moving on. Speaking of moving on, Lars Sullivan is interviewed by William Regal, states that he did not attack Aleister Black because he would have stayed standing over Black to make sure that it would have been a lot worse than he was. And he is apparently scheduled for a match against Raul Mendoza, who's going to be crushed.
Oh, that poor thing.
Yeah,
it's not Sullivan, obviously. It's not Sullivan. But Sullivan is way too calm about his explanations. Ladies and gentlemen, we are sitting in the presence of a sociopath. Sociopath, yes.
Yeah.
William Regal, you need to put him on the list, put a little yellow flag next to his name. We need to be watching him at all points in his career. Also, we need Nikki Cross to be interviewed because she's going to be the linchpin in this. Well, they haven't confirmed that she's the linchpin, but she might have gotten there after.
No. I'm not saying she was the linchpin. I'm saying she was interviewed last week. That happened.
Oh, shit.
We covered
yeah,
it.
I forgot. You covered it.
Yeah. Sorry. We get next is Velveteen Dream versus Johnny Gargano. Dream comes out wearing a Johnny Failure shirt. Fucking hated it, but it was
somebody else already did that.
Yeah, it was a good in-ring storytelling kind of thing. Gargano is obviously frothing at the mouth for this match. Displays a lot of aggression during it. I did write that he did use the Famouser. It's like, okay,
that was beautiful.
I don't. Okay, I guess it's for me. I like the old school genealogy of how you incorporate a move into your repertoire. That being either A, you follow the same school as the person that does the move, i.e., you learned it from them, or B, you tag with that person or have a working relationship with said person and then get to incorporate it. Look at Cesaro. Cesaro uses a sharpshooter because he worked with Stone Cold. That's how he got it. That's how.
I thought the sharpshooter was Bret Hart.
No, sharpshooter was Bret Hart, but Hart got it. Austin got it from Hart, who gave it to Cesaro. That's how he got it.
You have to also think these people are being trained by their superstars. Come down to the Performance Center to train, to rehab. You don't think that at some point Dolph Ziggler has been in the Performance Center, especially since Drew McIntyre was in the Performance Center? Well, you don't think that potentially they might have had a thing? I don't think it needs to be televised. It's not a finisher. It's an enhancement move.
I mean, I don't argue that, and I'm saying it's kind of one of those setup finishers. But I'm saying that like Dolph, the first person to use the Famouser, as far as I know, was Mr. Ass. That's it. And then Dolph got it and started using it. And now Velveteen Dream used it. So there we go.
Yeah, but by saying that, it almost sounds like you're not allowed to take a look at tape. Look at tape from matches past to try to learn how to do a move on your own.
Well,
I mean
that's mostly because I want to see these guys go out there and put their own thumbprint on these matches. Yes, seeing a Stone Cold Stunner is fucking amazing, and it's never something I don't like seeing. But
so do you think that because Dream used the Famouser that this completely ruined the match?
I didn't say it did. I was saying it kind of took me out a little bit for a minute.
I thought because so that segment was very, I'm sure they had planned this out, but the way they made it look, this was very, oh shit, he's coming at me. I can do this. I honestly I feel like it was probably a spur of the moment. It's made to look like a spur of moment. I think it's good. I don't think Dream's probably going to keep it in his repertoire. It was probably a one and done thing. But he has that ability. You know, doing a Cannonball Senton bomb, or doing the Cannonball Senton, that's Kevin Owens' move.
And speaking of KO, and again, it's very much the way I look at it is in this context is this: Velveteen Dream is not going to use that move again, probably for quite a very long time, but he will eventually use it again in the same sense that KO did when he was facing Rollins. Note, he used the stunner on Rollins, and he used it on Reigns when they fought for the Universal Championship. It's a thing that he does when he's reached the bottom of his barrel. And Velveteen Dream has had far more moves in his repertoire that he could have used at that point. It didn't have to be the Famouser, but he did it. And I'm gonna move past this because we've got a lot more to cover.
I just don't see how you can be so upset over this.
I loved the little moment that Johnny Gargano had with the kid in the crowd. That was very, very nice. Dream, however, wins with the Dream Valley Driver after tricking Johnny Gargano into going for the uncovered knee. Um, I didn't want that to happen. I don't think it
Such
needed
a
it.
beautiful ending.
Oh
I
yeah.
freaking loved it.
Oh, very very good ending. But I didn't. I was like,
Everything was needed in that. It
I
builds up Velveteen Dream. It builds up Johnny Gargano. It really puts into a perspective that Dream has the ability to do the mind tricks,
oh yeah.
and that's a big thing.
Well, I mean, Velveteen Dream's in ring psychology is is hard to match. It very much is. So
Just don't try to understand Velveteen Dream. Just
yeah,
enjoy it.
don't get into his head. You don't want to be in
I
there.
think that's why you're so upset. You're trying to understand this, and it's just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Take it for what it is.
Speaking of enjoying things, I fucking enjoyed 205 a couple moments in 205 live, but we're gonna get there.
A couple moments.
I
Oh,
mean,
guys, 205 Live is my favorite show.
hang on. We got to do this part. We got to do this part. Oh wait, that's not it. That's the button. There we go.
Alrighty, guys, I am stealing the show now because 205 Live is my Wrestle Boys. We can agree that NXT is amazing and everybody loves it, but it takes a true hardcore fan to really plow through 205 Live like I did in the beginning, and now to see and reap the benefits of this. To start off the show, it is confirmed at the Super Showdown in Australia, Buddy Murphy will face Cedric Alexander for the Cruiserweight Championship. They get into this later, and it is really cool.
We get start of the show. We get the announcement of Tony Nese versus Grand Metalik, and that Cedric Alexander is going to call out Drew Gulak.
Yep.
Was really cool.
But let's move right into the first match, which is Grand Metalik versus Tony Nese. This was very much the power versus speed match. But before we get into this, I'm sorry, I had this, and then it's just like, oh, pre-match. Tony Nese refuses this interview with this cute little lady. How you doing, girl? But as I was saying, Buddy Murphy and Alexander will be facing each other at the Super Showdown, and Buddy Murphy actually steps in and does his own on-the-fly interview. He brings up that he took Alexander to his limits the last time they had a championship match in Alexander's hometown, and now they're going to be in Australia, in his home country, in his hometown. He's going to have home field advantage. Now, WWE likes to screw with a lot of wrestlers when it comes to hometown. If you didn't notice, in 2016, 2017, a lot of hometown wrestlers lost. I don't want to see this. But tonight, Tony Nese is going to do what he does best, aside from counting his 8-pack, take care of business.
Apparently, both Lucha House, the rest of Lucha House Party, and Buddy Murphy were banned from ringside for this match, which I really, really liked. It let both of these guys do what they needed to do without having the outside distractions of either wrestler coming in, and just let them both flourish, which was what they did. Tony Nese's power was very much on display, along with Grand Metalik's ring IQ of being the king of the ropes.
They had a lot of cool synchronized moves up in the beginning with the drop kicks followed by the kip ups. I actually thought they were a little sloppy on the ringside apron spots in the beginning. You could tell that this match was set to push Nese's power and agility. Just a couple spots that I really, really enjoyed. Nese catching the moonsault, and then Metalik spiking Nese into the mat. Nese's selling abilities have improved leaps and bounds since the beginning. He's always been a good seller, but he really sold this. Metalik with that awesome Hurricane Rana. Then going up for the moonsault from the top rope, and then getting Nese to get those knees up at the right time. Both of these guys do really well in the ropes. I understand Metalik is the king of the ropes, but Nese is very impressive as well. We see the 450 splash from Tony Nese, which a lot of cruiserweights like this move. It was actually really cool to see him doing it.
Understandably impressive.
But in the end, Metalik hits the super Hurricane Rana with Nese caught on the ropes, then goes for the top rope elbow and pins Nese.
wonderful. We get a replay of Atami's squash match slash Mustafa Ali's return. We are backstage with DM the GM, who then sees Mustafa Ali, who completely mentions the AOP thing, and he's like, "You look really good in that AOP gear." He's like, "That's none of your, what I do on my Monday nights is none of your business." And in fact, what I do,
he wished he'd shown up in the AOP gear.
oh yeah, that would have been fucking awesome. Or had Akam and Razor somewhere like nearby. That would have been great.
Bodyguards.
His fucking security team now is Akam and Razor. It works. You're gonna listen to DM the GM because he's gonna make you listen. He's going to break you.
But
anyway,
he does tell Mustafa Ali that he is still not allowed inside the ring until he deems him 100% clear. I don't know if this could potentially be the first step in a heel turn, just because of how Ali didn't react. It'd be interesting to see, but
heel authority.
I mean, that's the only way you're gonna get the title on Ali if Cedric Alexander continues to hold it.
Yeah, I mean, I could see him holding it well into next year.
Maybe I know, but Ali has deserved a chance at the title since day one.
Oh yeah, no.
Speaking of someone else who definitely deserves this chance at the title, Noam Dar.
Noam Dar comes out and has a squash match against local enhancement
Brian Kelly.
Yep, and Lio Rush joins commentary, which I had.
His cadence is terrible. I hate it.
I had no use for him on commentary, and I'm super glad that putting it on 2x speed so that way I could watch everything before we had to be out here today made it completely possible for me to ignore him. So
while I suffered it live.
I'm sorry. No, you know what? You're gonna suffer it next. You're gonna suffer it live here in a couple of weeks when you go to SmackDown 1000. Aren't you gonna stay? Aren't you gonna stay for 205?
It's not going to be a suffer. It is going to be a pleasure, an enjoyment. I love my Wrestle Boys.
Hey, I'm not suggesting anything to the contrary. I'm saying,
look, if I'm not back on Wednesday, it's because I found a way into somebody's suitcase or the equipment, and I'm probably in the next town.
Yeah, you're following. You become a roadie for the rest for the talent. That's
I gotta get to Baron somehow.
Just start working your way up the ladder.
I'm your biggest fan.
Groupies.
If you joined WWE, yes.
Fucking groupies. Anyway, we get an announcement.
I'm not a groupie. How dare you? But Noam Dar does pin Kelly.
Yeah,
let's just put that out.
And the two Noam Dar and Lio Rush start jaw jacking. It's whatever. I'll see this rivalry to its next level. Alexander
Which is gonna be Noam coming out of this feud on top.
Fucking hope so. Cedric Alexander is heading to the ring, but stopped by Drake and told to keep it professional. And he's like, "Yeah, no problem. You're the boss." We get Grand Metalik versus Buddy Murphy announced for next week, and then
I thought is it Buddy? I thought it was Nice again.
Nope, Buddy Murphy.
Oh, I guess it was Buddy. Yep. That's gonna be a good match too.
Oh yeah. Personally, I wouldn't have minded seeing it be Lince Dorado versus. Buddy
they gotta
Murphy.
go. They're gonna do Grand Metalik between the two of them. One's gonna lose. One's gonna come on top. They're going to do Lindsay. I'm sure they'll do Kalisto. That gives them 6 weeks of matches just for this, and that's not going to get boring because these guys are all amazing in the ring. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how this ends because either Lucha House Party comes out on top or Nice turns on Murphy.
I don't see that part happening. So I actually could see that like Lucha House Party scene gets the upper hand on them, but that's because there are 3 of them.
Yeah. Should we move on to Cedric Alexander calling out Gulak?
Yeah.
But instead, since I already started it, but instead he gets TJP, and TJP wants a match. And then somebody's music hit, and I had no idea who it was for like 3 seconds, and then I saw my favorite tanned general manager. I I think it's hilarious that he purposely says this goes against all rules of general managing, but I'm going to make the match right now. And it's just like, are you saying that every time a general manager comes out and says, we're going to have a match and it's going to be right now, that's not allowed in the general manager like rule book?
Yeah, I'm not buying that.
Maybe it's just against he likes to have the pre-planned show.
Yeah. Okay, I could buy that. This match was very much TJP targeting Cedric's shoulder and left arm. It was good, and
The
Cedric.
amount of counters and reversals that the two of these guys had in this match
Oh yeah,
was amazing. I've always liked TJP. I didn't think he was should have been the first person to hold the title.
yeah.
While he was champion, he ran his name down quite a bit.
Hang on.
Um, but I'm trying to continue talking so we don't hear it. But these guys, this match in particular, and the matches that TJP has had as of late, have um, really gotten my attention with TJP, and I can't wait to see more content out of the two of them. But Alexander does win via pinfall, and this is where Gulak answers. Well, welcome back.
I was trying to turn on my microphone, but apparently the mute microphone button that I have does not unmute my microphone, which is
I don't think it
bullshit.
muted your microphone.
It did. I I
I
I
kept
hit the
hearing it.
I hit the button. I know I hit the button, and I didn't see the levels moving. So
I continued to hear a phone ringing and somebody asking if everyone was okay. You're such a sweet hubby.
God damn it! I hit the button. It should have muted
But
me.
maybe it muted you, but I heard it. But Gulak does enter. He then accepts Alexander's earlier challenge, like before the match. It's
Yeah.
just like, and TJT did point out Gulak is an opportunist, and this was the perfect example of it.
Yeah.
Then we get Gallagher from behind. Gulak attacks. Maverick's out to separate everybody.
Not before
Jesus Christ.
Gulak hits in the Gulak.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's
Jesus.
that was a house fire. It wasn't entirely something bad, but that's swiftly becoming something of a running theme between these guys. And personally, I don't hate it, but I can't wait to see what comes.
I'm ready
next.
for this feud to ride off into the distance.
Yeah, it's time for this to end. Get somebody else in there. I mean, we're already on Buddy Murphy. We need to be focusing on that.
Yes.
Moving.
No, moving on. We've reached the end of this episode.
I know. We're moving on to the end of the episode where I thank everybody for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, all those wonderful things down below. Hit the bell for the notifications. Follow us on Twitter at InMoshPit. I'm at Rob's Random Roms. She's at Heavy Metal Hippie. And we will see you all tomorrow night for WWE News and Rumors. So, see you later.
Later.
It didn't stop.